The future for Spider-Man will be different, according to Tom Holland. That is the headline on this week's MBE Heroes. And John, we're going to kick off the show with obviously the news that broke last week in regards to the future of Spider-Man, which I think it's fair to say both of us aren't very happy about, but what can you do?
No.
Tom Holland has tried to address this at D23 over the weekend, John. There is a bit of a quote there, I'm not going to read it word for word, but basically he said he's had 5 great movies playing the character of Peter Parker, 5 amazing years, and although he doesn't know what the future is going to be, he's very happy playing the role, and he'll continue playing the role, but I think that's contractually obligated. He's got to do it anyway, and I think he wants to maybe keep in with Sony as well. What's your thoughts on this, John?
Yes, Stephen, I'm not surprised Tom is saying he is very enthusiastic about potentially continuing to reprise the role of Peter Parker. He says before, 5, 6, 7 years ago, when he was but a young sprocket, that his dream was to play the character of Spider-Man, that someday he had visions of himself portraying that character, and he's had the chance to do it for the last 5 years, so not surprised at all to see that he still retains the enthusiasm for portraying that character. He's put blood, sweat and tears into getting into shape for it.
Yeah.
I've seen the training the man went through, doing pirouettes on trampolines and whatnot, so
Right.
if he's still young enough, he's a very young chap, only in his early 20s, he's got years ahead to also portray this character, be it in the MCU or be it in Sony's own Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you were to ask me, Stephen, what my preference would be, it would most definitely be for him to still remain a part of the MCU, because I think that's where the best future lies for the character. We've already had just the character's arc weave into so many very important elements of the MCU moving forward.
Yeah.
The likes of, this is not so important, but Happy Hogan's relationship with Aunt May, is it?
It's a good point, yeah.
But not just that, just the future of him being portrayed as the heir apparent to Iron Man, and the element of multiverses and his identity being revealed to the world. I was so excited to see where they were going to take that going forward. So it's a real tragedy if that's not to be, and it's going to be ripped from the grasp of fans of the MCU. But look, Stephen, this is all down to Marvel, Disney, and their unrepentant greed. They are raking in incredible sums of money year in, year out for 3, 4, 5 different projects, and they have the audacity to then go to Sony Columbia and ask for a 50-50 split for a character they don't own. Now, I understand they've put Kevin Feige's manpower into it, they've helped produce the movies and they've let them share elements of the MCU and they're reaped the financial benefit, but come on, I think they were offering a new deal. They had 5% cut previously. What the hell have they done to justify a 45% increase? They're completely wrong, Disney here, and I think it's going to take the two of them dropping the egos and the arrogance and coming together in a room and sorting this out like men or women.
I
think
think
on the
John,
boards.
this sort of crossroads was going to happen at some point. I didn't think it was going to be this soon, to be honest with you, after the success of Far From Home. How disconnected is this character going to be if he reverts back to the Sony universe? Relationships, as you mentioned, John, storylines, friendships as well. How is this going to affect this character? Is it going to be not a reboot, but let's just forget what happened in the MCU and we'll start again? We're going to get Uncle Ben dying again. We've seen that twice already in this.
I can't handle another Spider-Man origin story, Stephen. I can't.
Great power comes great, blah blah blah. But anyway, we'll move on from that, John. My feelings to this is that I think there will be some common sense prevailing. I think both studios know that what they've got in regards to properties, where Sony have got probably one of the biggest Marvel characters,
if not the biggest,
ownership, but Marvel have got the biggest universe and a whole array of characters that can give us all these endless stories that Spider-Man could obviously, partake in. I'm not saying that there wouldn't be some interesting stories there with the properties that Sony have already got on board, Morbius, Venom, etc. But I think his natural home is with the MCU now, John. There's a fly flying around.
Yeah, there's a fly flying around, That's a little mini Ant-Man size Spider-Man trying to get up into our personal space, Steve.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. I think his future would be better served being a part of the MCU, just because it's such a great interconnected universe. There's so much excitement surrounding Phase 4 and going forward with the likes of Black Panther, Thor, as Guardians of the Galaxy, the Eternals. There's so much happening, there's so much TV shows and movies all interconnecting in fluidly. I feel that's the best place for the character to be served. But Stephen, it wouldn't be an absolute disaster if he was to go back to Sony. You need to remember, Sony have produced, what is it? Well, technically, I think it's 8. Perhaps, no, it may not be. I think it's 6. Round about that anyway, Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, the 2 Amazing Spider-Mans and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So they've done 6 Spider-Man movies. And no, Homecoming and Far From Home as well. So it was 8. I was right. 8 Spider-Man movies, and I think you can make the argument 2 of them were below par. And even then, they've performed consistently pretty well across the board in terms of box office numbers. So it's not been an absolute disaster, Sony's handling of the character. And they've got enough going on with their villainous characters and whatnot that they could pop this guy in and perhaps make it a success. It'd be different to what we've seen before, but then you'd retain that continuity with Tom Holland going forward. But I don't think it'll come to it, Stephen. I think they will get together eventually, come to a compromise. John Favreau certainly feels that way. He was speaking about it. He holds out hope for the right thing happening. He says, I think he was asked about the relationship between him and Aunt May, and he says that they were a happy couple, and essentially, as I says, you never know what's going to happen. He's holding out hope and he's got optimism there that this isn't the final chapter in the story for his character, his relationship with Tom Holland's Peter Parker, and just Peter Parker's relationship with the MCU moving forward. So I'm optimistic, Stephen, that it will get sorted out. And I hope for all involved that it gets sorted out. Sony also benefit financially, and the fans benefit by having this great character as a very much functioning part of the greater MCU story.
I think if both studios were honest, John, I think they would agree that they know what the fans want. And to be fair to them, especially the MCU, Marvel, Disney, they have really, over the last few years, really pleased the fans because they know what the fans want, you know, and I think Sony as well. So hopefully common sense will prevail. But we'll move on, John, to our next article. A little short and sweet one, matter of fact, actually. Black Panther 2 is set for a May 2022 release date. May 6th, that is. This comes hot on the heels of The Eternals, which is coming out in 2021, and next year's Black Widow movie. What's your feelings on this, John? This was obviously announced at D23. I think it might have been Ryan Coogler came on stage and announced this date. What's your feelings on this? Very
excited, Stephen. I really enjoyed the character of T'Chaka. Obviously, I really enjoyed Chadwick Boseman as an actor. I think he's an absolutely incredibly talented chap. I've seen him in, I think it was, what the hell was that called? Get On Up, the James Brown autobiographical movie. That was a fantastic performance. He's such a wide and varied actor, and I love him obviously portraying this character. So I can't wait to see the next chapter in the story. I think they'll have the work cut out for them. Getting a better villain than Eric Killmonger, obviously Michael B. Jordan. But if anybody can pen a script with a great villain involved in it, it's certainly going to be Ryan Coogler, Stephen, a fantastic director as well. So I'm glad to see he has obviously made progress with the script, and they are getting ready to, I think, shoot, they say 2020. The slate that begins, they say the slate that begins 2020, I think it'll be 2021 we'll start shooting. But there's been progress made, we've got a release date out. Very excited for it, Stephen, as I did say. Seeing the return of Shuri, Lupita Nyong'o and Danai Gurira and whatnot, all these great characters. Even, what the hell was that, in Baku? The Mountain King. There's so much lore and lush, sort of a lush sandbox to play off of there with the world of Wakanda, and just the concept of them letting their shields drop, and that's a terrible, obviously, word to use, but just letting things drop. The reason this secretive society they had going on, and they're letting the outer world peer into Wakanda, and they're obviously putting out a helping hand to people outside of the walls of Wakanda. So I cannot wait to see it.
I can't wait to see where these characters are now, John. As we know, in the MCU, I think we're now in 2023 already, with the 5-year jump. So it'll be interesting to see. Can't wait to see the other characters, as you said, when you mentioned Shuri there. Loved them all. I thought just the whole cast and the characters in the movie as well, what made the film, and obviously this backdrop of Wakanda as well, was stunning. It'll be very interesting, as you said. I've never thought of that, who is going to be the villain in this one, because you're right, I think Killmonger, as good as an actor as Michael B. Jordan is, the character was very underwhelming for me, to be honest with you. I could sympathise with him probably a little bit too much. I think that's where it felt.
Yeah, it was very much
for me, because I actually was sympathising for him.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a villain, you think about it, Stephen.
No, he was a tragic figure more than anything.
He was more like a dark heroic figure. He was outcast by this society. His father was killed at a young age.
Yeah.
And he was coming back to try and regain and help, and obviously the people who are the minorities in the world, obviously black minorities and whatnot. He was trying his best to help them. He's seen this society with incredible technology and the ability to help out people, and he wanted to share that.
I think as well, because T'Challa sympathised with him as well. There was no real tension between the two of them. There was an element of it, but not enough to sort of sway me to, really get off his side, if anything. But as I said,
when he beat the shit out of him, that was harsh.
Yeah.
Also, T'Challa, he absolutely destroyed him.
It was more like two brothers fighting more than anything, wasn't it?
And then at the end, that was vindicated, Stephen, because they made up, in a sense, so
So we'll move on. As I said, it was short and sweet to our next article, John. This is obviously the back of D23, some television series now being announced, as well as the ones we've already discussed.
Yes.
And they are Ms. Marvel. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. Ms. Marvel. Miss Marple, Moon Knight and She-Hulk. What's your feelings on these announcements, John? We've had a little read through because we don't get D23 over here. We never got any coverage, so we could only take what we can from clips from YouTube. Would love to have been at this event, to be honest with you, John, because there were so many announcements. This is probably one of the biggest.
Certainly for Disney.
Yeah, for announcements, certainly for all the different properties they own. But we'll certainly be talking more about the Lucasfilm stuff on Friday. But what's your feelings on these television series? Are you intrigued by any of them?
I'm intrigued by all of them, Stephen, because it's the MCU in a sense, in television form, and I always give them a chance. When you get Kevin Feige's fingerprints on properties, then I will always be intrigued on some level, because the guy just understands what the fans want. On a basic level, he understands the characters and the lore, and this incredible mine of characters and backstories and lore that you can tap into, and he will bring out the best characters he feels that will weave organically into the greater MCU story. Certainly with Miss Marvel, this is a character that used to be Carol Danvers, I think, and then that was obviously changed. I don't know if that was because of the legal difficulties with obviously Shazam and whatnot, or whether they just seen an opportunity to seize the Captain Marvel name, and then they also made her Carol Danvers and rejigged it a bit with obviously Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Kamala Khan, the first Muslim superhero, Stephen. I think that's quite a definitive moment for perhaps Muslim fans of the MCU out there.
Yeah.
Again, getting back to what we were speaking about previously with obviously Black Panther, that was a zeitgeist moment for the black community.
Yeah.
They really came out and rallied behind that story. Seeing these characters on the screen that represented them was a special thing for them, and this could be the same for Muslim fans of the MCU out there, getting to see Miss Marvel. She seems like a cool character.
Shapeshifting,
Shapeshifting. She has, I think, regenerative abilities. So
healing,
yeah, very strong character. So it'll be intrigued to see where she.
Do you think it's right, John, that they're going down the road of introducing this character in a television series rather than just taking the plunge into the cinematic world?
Well, I think they've got their finger in so many pies, Stephen, with the Eternals and whatnot, that cosmic side of the things. It's going to be very overcrowded if they try to do it too much. I think they've introduced them too quick and too soon in the actual movie side of things. I think they're doing it right. They're slowly easing these characters in from different mediums. And again, it's just the concept of the streaming, this also transformation to streaming platforms. I think this is just the way the business is moving now. Disney are very aware of that. They've got very intelligent people at all levels in their business, and they're aware that this is where the entertainment business is starting to shift. They want to get their finger into those pies. Also, Disney Plus, I'm saying a lot of fingers in pies today, I don't know why, but Disney Plus is going to be a big part of Disney's, I think, strategy moving forward, and I think they'll utilise these with TV shows, and then it's just a great way to introduce characters, flesh out their story over a longer arc, and then you can bring them into the greater MCU. But Stephen, just moving on swiftly to She-Hulk, this has been getting a lot of backlash. People think this is them pandering to the SJW, or what the hell is it called? Is it Social Justice Warriors? SJWs. But apparently it's not. Stan Lee introduced this character in the 1980s, so it's been around for a while. Can't lie though, the concept of it getting its powers, or her getting her powers through a blood transfusion with her cousin Bruce Banner, Terrible. Absolutely
Scrappy
terrible
dappy-doo.
idea.
Yeah.
Scrappy dappy do. Terrible
Yeah.
idea, but again, Stephen, it's representation once again. Young female audience members will get to see a female Hulk version,
Yeah.
so I'll watch it if the character's intriguing enough, if it's handled correctly and it's not too on the nose. Looks very interesting, but moving on very swiftly to the final TV show, I think this is the most alluring one for me, Stephen,
Yeah.
the Moon Knight one.
Great logo.
It's a fantastic logo,
Yeah.
the best of a bunch, and I have to say, it's intrigued me because we spoke about Keanu Reeves potentially
We did.
popping up
Yeah.
and having a role, and one of the rumoured roles was as Moon Knight, and he's a very interesting character. He's a sort of he's like an anti-hero figure,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, he's a
recall.
former Marine
Yeah.
and boxer, John, so
Yeah.
I can see Keanu Reeves fitting into that role, no
Yeah,
problem. He's
yeah,
got the right physique for it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great, and I hope it is him. They've not announced the title or the lead for the title or role, so hopefully it will be Keanu Reeves, Stephen, and we'll finally get this chap shoehorned into the MCU in some manner. And I can't think of a better guy
Characteristics
playing
of
the
him,
role.
though, John, it does remind me too much of Luke Cage with his increased strength and durability. I hope they don't. They're saying it's a more street level series. That reeks of Luke Cage to me, but which I
Former
loved.
Marine though.
Yeah. Well, that, yeah.
Yeah, that would work with Keanu Reeves, as you rightly said, Stephen.
I think so. You know.
Strikes me as a John Wick character.
I think out of the three of them, John, Moon Knight's probably the one that sort of stands out to me. That's the one I'm looking forward to the most. Don't know about yourself.
You know, it feels like we are perhaps the demographic that's targeted with that one,
I think
Stephen,
so, yeah.
less so than Miss Marvel and She-Hulk. So, yeah, it is for me. But there's a whole host of great TV shows coming out. WandaVision,
Can't wait.
Falcon, the Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
so
and
there's
Loki
a whole,
as well.
And Loki, which
Yeah.
is probably my most anticipated. So it's going to be a wide array of content to consume if we finally get Disney Plus, but we'll not go down that rabbit hole
No,
again.
not again. Don't want to go on another rant on my soapbox, John, but we'll move on to
Yes.
our next article. It's Kit Harington has been confirmed as Black Knight in the MCU and will debut in the Eternals.
Absolutely delighted about this, Stephen. As a big fan of obviously Game of Thrones, this guy was mainstay in that series as Jon Snow.
The man,
Or
yeah.
what the hell was his? Aegon Targaryen? I want to say his name was. It's been a while since I watched it, but yeah, he was revealed and then he went back to being poor old Jon Snow and he was sent back to the Wall to serve in the Night Watch. But yeah,
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert. If you've seen, you don't want to watch it now anyway if you're behind. It ends very poorly. Don't invest so much time into it for a pitiful ending. But yeah, glad to see the guys coming in, Stephen. He's not really, I feel, went outside the boundaries of Game of Thrones. He's done a couple of movies. I think he'd done one, Pompey or something it was called.
Okay.
Or he was playing a gladiator figure or something like that. He's not really tested himself, but he has proven that he's got a decent range in Game of Thrones. He's a good actor, and I'm glad to see he's getting such a big role after leaving Game of Thrones. This is his first real step out into a new, sort of I don't want to say world, that's very corny, but first big breakout role after Game of Thrones. It's always an important thing. We've seen it with Harry Potter, like Daniel Radcliffe, Rupert Grint and Emma Watson and whatnot, and Tom Felton. They all had to step out of that comfort zone and make the plunge. Some of them have done better than others. I really hope this is a success for Kit Harington because he's a very likeable chap and it's a very intriguing character, Stephen. It's visually alluring.
I think so as well, John. And although he's not going to be part of the Eternal team, it's, you know, the article does touch on that and says it's interesting to find out what kind of part he's going to play in this movie. This is the one that I'm actually looking forward to the most out of the three that have been penciled in for the next 3 years anyway. I'm very intrigued. I think the cast has got a lot to do with that. Big names in there. And he's another one. He didn't take to the stage, I don't think, at D23.
No, I think it was announced perhaps slightly too late for him to get over.
Yeah.
But Stephen, you look at his abilities, and again, it feeds back into Game of Thrones. They've obviously highlighted the main sort of skills that they want the actor to have, or possess, if you'd like. You'd say that the character is an excellent swordsman, great in hand-to-hand combat. He's an expert horseman, a genius physicist, a strong strategist and a tactician with magic senses, and he wields a sword of light
Bit of a
and a
Mary Sue,
shield,
isn't he?
and a shield of night, yes. So they're all things that you can take straight from the Jon Snow character. Great hand-to-hand combat, combatant, he's proficient with swords and shields, and he's good on a horse. So this is a guy who's learned all these skills through 10 years of his character development on that show, so we'll take it right into this. I don't know how that would work, swords and horses in the MCU, and a cosmic scale movie like the Eternals, but I'm sure they'll make it work, Steve.
They had flying horses, didn't they? And,
that was Valkyrie, wasn't it?
Valkyrie and Ragnarok, so who knows. We'll
Good
move
luck.
on to our final article this week, John. It's Kat Dennings' DARCY. and Randall Park's Jimmy Woo returns to the MCU in WandaVision.
Yeah, Stephen, this is very intriguing. So they're all coming to WandaVision. This isn't just spread out over a variety of different projects. They're all actually coming back to WandaVision. Yeah, I'm intrigued by this in many levels, Stephen. Perhaps more for Randall Park than anything else. He was such a memorable character from obviously Ant-Man and the Wasp, playing that FBI figure. I mentioned him. I don't know if I reviewed that movie or that it was just us speaking about it on the blog rundown.
I think you reviewed
but I highlighted him as being the sort of a third villain, a minor villain. He wasn't a villain, he was more like comedic, a thorn in the side of Scott Lang. This comedic FBI figure who was always trying to catch him on the hop but couldn't quite manage to do it. He was always, Scott Lang was always a step ahead. But he brought great humour to that role into the movie, Stephen, alongside the likes of Michael, I think it's Panther. And that weird chap, he's an amazing actor. The guy who played the schizophrenic. And then The Dark Knight, he's a fantastic actor. He's actually coming in this, Stephen. I think he's got a role in the MCU. I don't know what TV show it is, but he's actually stepping into it as well. So, very excited to see this. I can't lie, Stephen, I don't recall the Sharon Carter character from Captain America, the Winter Soldier. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I have to go back and watch it. It was probably one of my favourite in the MCU. But I don't really recall this character Emily Van Camp played, but great to see they're bringing more of these great people in. It's almost in a sense like little acting appointment Easter eggs. They've all popped up in various roles.
In regards to Darcy Lewis, John, Kat Dennings, I only remember her because it's Kat Dennings that plays her. The role itself wasn't that memorable. She was a quirky character to the Jane Foster character, but it's good to see her coming back because I do like Kat Dennings anyway. Randall Park, as you said, John, Jimmy Woo was probably the standout for me in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that's a film that stars Paul Rudd. I just thought his character was so funny. He was so determined to catch Scott Lang out, and so disappointed when he couldn't catch him out. It just added more sort of, as you said, a thorn in the side to Scott Lang, and it was just, in the grand scheme of things, it was like this. It was just this annoyance, in the whole story. But I'm looking forward to seeing both of them return in different capacities. Obviously, for the character of Darcy Lewis, where has she been? What's she been up to? Not seen her since the Dark World, I think, John. Is that right?
Yeah, is it Dark World? You're right, Stephen.
And we remember this character, Jimmy Woo, more because it was only on our screens last year in Ant-Man and the Wasp, so I'm looking forward to it.
Stephen, I'm looking forward to WandaVision as a whole. I'm just intrigued to see how this is all going to mesh together. I've not got a clue what the premise for WandaVision is, but for sure it's going to be a fantastic show. I cannot wait to see Paul Bettany and obviously, I forgot her name, Elizabeth Olsen. I wanted to say Mary Kate and that's the sisters. Yeah. So it's going to be great to see them coming back and reprising their roles as well. What I've seen so far, they're bringing so many great characters in and actors and actresses on board. The talent is staggering, and they've got a real strong vision going forward for the cinematic universe and the TV side on streaming. So I cannot wait, Stephen, to see the continued growth of all of these shows, characters in the MCU as a greater whole.
It's a good time for Disney Plus, John. But listen, that just rounds up this week's MBE Heroes. We would just like to thank you once again for joining us, and we will be back again tomorrow with MBE Movie News.